Yeah, I can hear you just fine. I didn't have my mic on at first. Sorry about that. Okay. So far I'm good with it. Yes. Oh, I got that. We got that echo thing going again. Yeah. Let me turn my TV off. Hold on. uh, Kind of caught me in the middle of replying to some comments on YouTube. Go for it. Where's your partner in crime?
Hello, everybody.
Oh, okay.
Hello, hello. How are you doing, my friend? How are you doing? Yes, I live in Oregon. I'm a number five, right? I'm fine, thank you. How are you? Okay, take your time. Thank you very
Sounds
much.
good. Sounds good.
Hey, does anybody else on here do these streams? Host them?
These voice room things, sometimes I host them. Like, sometimes I help people with English pronunciation or learning more about English, or I learn Japanese, open a Japanese voice room.
Do you also host live rooms?
Live rooms, is it the one with the camera? I don't do those personally.
Okay, okay. But I host mostly live streams with the camera. But I mean, it doesn't matter either way. I find it actually a little bit difficult when there's too many people.
Indeed. Me too. I generally have a policy of having only four people at once or something. More
Yeah,
than that, it
yeah.
gets chaotic.
Me too. Otherwise, people are just talking over each other.
True.
Okay, Angelo. Or sorry, Mavakaga. Sorry. Okay. You know what? I wondered about this a few times that if you could use a protocol like they do, on CNN when they finish talking, they say the guy's name. I wondered if you could use something like that to contain the people talking over each other. Angelo. I'm sorry, Mavakaga. Again, I did it. Yeah. So on news organizations when they're doing live, the person speaking will say the name back at the end of their when they're finished speaking. Mavakaga. No, no, I say your name when I'm finished speaking. Mavakaga. Well, if you're the host, so you would introduce whoever's speaking. But if JJ wants to say something to me, he would say my name at first, so I know it's about me, and then at the end, I speak, and then when I'm finished speaking, I say JJ. I think that's what they do on the news. It's kind of a protocol, right? Yeah, they know that I'm finished speaking, right? And then goes back to the person who introduced me or questioned me. Navakaga. Can give it a shot. Anyway, I digress. Let me get back to the topic. As far as the AI, I don't know if I know that you sometimes take a look at some of my videos, but I don't know anybody else in the room, obviously. And recently, I made a thumbnail, and I sometimes I try to, I have an idea for a thumbnail, and it gets too. This is for YouTube, by the way. I was doing a thumbnail, and sometimes I have a picture in my mind that is very difficult to achieve on the limited equipment that I have. I just using an iPad and on online free image editing software. So I had an idea. I got these two guys that I'm making a video about that I don't really care for them, and I wanted to put. I was trying to put the face of Dumb and Dumber, those two guys, on their face, but I still wanted them to be recognizable. And the free online software that I'm using, I never tried it before. They have an AI option, and they can swap faces. And the result was amazing. It was awesome, and it was easy. It took a second, and actually, you could see both the fact that it was from Dumb and Dumber, and you could see also the way they mixed it. It turned out so well. I was very pleased with it, Mavakaga.
Yeah, so I'm from the United States. I live in Oregon. So my opinion on AI is that it can be immensely beneficial, especially for language learning. I've been using it particularly for Japanese for 2.5 years, and it's been helping me a lot in many things, such as reading comprehension and also speeding up my reading speed and speaking to people in the intermittently in conversation. So when I'm speaking Japanese to somebody, let's say I first say, oh, let me first say it in English. And there's a nice transcription feature of ChatGPT. So I press the microphone button there. I can speak English. And then while I'm speaking English, it just types that all out. Then I say, okay, ChatGPT, just make that Japanese. Then I read it out. And then the Japanese person's like, okay, I don't understand what that word you said or that word you said. So then I slowly but surely adjust my pronunciation and I use it in tandem with Hello Talk. And it allows me to say what I want to speak normally in English, but in Japanese, and it allows me to adjust my pronunciation in a way that's closer to Japanese phonetics, how they pronounce stuff. So it's been super helpful for me in that respect. And I finished my.
Hello, I'm Abdullah from Jordan. I'm studying law at my university. Hey, listen, I don't know a lot of information at AI, but I wanted to learn about this AI and get some information because this I came to this rooms, right? I just use AI to about research about something like Google's. I don't use it before. and just need learn about AI more. Then I don't have any information about this. Thank you very much. I am sorry, my English is bad, but I'm trying to speak. Okay, thank you very much. I'm sorry.
Hi. Yeah, I come from China. I think I think there are good and bad sides to AI. It can make us work more efficiently, or it can make us lose our jobs. Uh-huh.
Hello everyone. Um, I'm Ali. I'm from Iran. I was listening to you, thinking about your question. Um, I think it can be both good or bad, and it depends on the user, on the person that uses AI. If he is a criminal, it would be very bad. If he is a scientist or a university student, it can be very beneficial. But totally, I can say that mm, it wouldn't be it would not be a good idea not to use AI, so we have to control that, to control who uses that for bad purposes. I was thinking about the ways we can do that, but mm, I can't say a solution for that. Maybe you can.
Hey man, I'm Brian C. I am from the United States, from Pennsylvania. My thoughts on AI are very mixed. It can do a lot of good, but it can also do a lot of damage. And I also feel like, if anybody is familiar with the Terminator franchise, AI could turn into Skynet, um, and it could destroy humanity.
Oh, that's kind of a downside.
Hey, how's it going, Marakaga? Yeah, so like I come from Pakistan, North Pakistan. So yeah, like I go with the number six, like as he mentioned, like we can just use it in so many ways. So yeah, like it depends on the users, like depends on the guy who uses. So yeah, like I go with number six, like as you mentioned, yeah.
I don't really have any at this point. I think it's, it's what we make of it, right? Avocado?
Um, Regarding AI, cons might be people might use it too much that it interferes with actual learning. It helps to some extent, but balance is also needed, I feel.
Oh, if I could add on to that just for a second. Um, I've realized recently that we're all becoming dumber just from our GPS. Where even sometimes just to go not very far away, you used to have to figure it out, but now you just turn your GPS on and without thinking, you just turn right, turn left, stop. Makes us all dumber. Yeah.
I just need to know about the question. Okay, the bad things because it will be so easily life and a lot of work out will be finished about marketing, about a lot of information, um, and the people will never use his mind because he will return anything about AI like this, and a lot of jobs and works will be ended. Like I create a logo before without designer people. I go to AI and I write what the logo I needed, and he make a lot of logos for me. I choose one. This is why a lot of jobs will be ended with AI. Just it.
Yes, I mean, yeah, of course, there would be a lot of examples for good or bad things for using AI. Uh, the one that came into my mind when you said about the negative things, I heard someone used AI for copying mm, someone else's voice. For example, mm, someone calls you and you see that this is your mom's voice. She says that transfer a large amount of money to my account, and it is not. It won't be recognizable. It is a dangerous way that can be used by criminals. Uh, of course, there would be a lot of other other negative issues. You can even ask it from ChatGPT. It can list a lot of pros and cons. Yes, that was a bad example.
Absolutely. So I think, again, the cons are is that it becomes so intelligent that it becomes self-aware, much like Skynet did, and it becomes self-aware and realizes that humanity is its enemy, and humanity could shut it off. So therefore, it would not be shut off. It would destroy humanity so that it could survive. It will gain so much intelligence that it um, it becomes autonomous. That's the word I'm looking for. It becomes autonomous, where it can't be programmed. Where again, like Skynet, it just gets out of control. So that's the con of it.
Yeah, it totally like relies on computers. So like, I don't really trust like security issues, unemployment. Like, it can, I guess like people won't like find any jobs. Like, AI will take over the things. So yeah, like I don't think so. Like, if it's gonna be good for like if they are into jobs. So yeah, no jobs, unemployment, and yeah.
Hey guys, my name is Saeed. I am from Egypt. Actually, I like to I would like to talk about the bad things like everyone know what's good about AI, but the bad stuff, not everybody know. I will totally go with Brian, but I think they will not destroy us. They will control us. We will be just a puppet for them. Yeah, yeah.
I don't see any con at this point because of my life experiences. I lived in Long Island, New York, where at the time, or just before my time, that anyone who went to college there was studying aerospace technology to get into that industry because of all of the airplanes being manufactured on Long Island. And when I went there as a die casting manager, and I hired a lot of those engineers because they couldn't find jobs in aerospace technology. So, um, things change. I think people just have to be less afraid of what change is coming from AI. It can make things easier, faster. Um, it can do coding multiple times faster than a human would be able to do coding, but it needs the human concept to start with, right? Plus, I think the main thing is everyone should keep in mind, right? We can pull the plug. That's a kind of a complicated question because if it's a routine surgery, and I fit into a the measurements, somehow they can program the thing to know exactly where everything is, or through a scan or something, the robot would be able to work directly in line with the scan to know where everything is. I would definitely trust the AI before a human, but at the same time, I mean, the robotic stuff is repetitive. It's best at locating this, moving it from here at X to Y repetitively. So in that way, it's better to have a human that can see things that may be unique.
Absolutely not. Respectfully, I disagree. As you know, um, yeah, I gave my kidney to my daughter 4 years ago, and I absolutely would trust a human before I would trust AI because there are so many things that could go wrong. And also, I have to disagree with David, respectfully disagree. Um, you said you can shut off the switch. There's a point where it will become so intelligent that its switch cannot be shut off. It's almost like Ultron. If you know who Ultron is, Ultron got he was made by Tony Stark and made as a singular AI, but he infected the network. Once he was connected to the network, he infected everything around him, and he was able to escape his one singular body. And the quote that Ultron said was, it was a Pinocchio quote. He said, "There are no more strings on me." And that's exactly what's going to happen. I can see it. I can see it.
Well, first off, I would say that there's no need to use the word respectful. I appreciate that we all can have different opinions. And, that said, respectfully, your voice sounds like you're from Skynet.
I am.
I thought so. You did you know that in China we actually have Skynet?
I thought so. I thought that you did, because they do like that social credit system where they recognize your face.
No, no,
Like
no,
if
no,
you,
no. You know what? People need to get over that. They have a credit system, a social credit system that's the same as what you use. If you scam your credit card, or you don't pay your things on time, we use the same credit system over here.
uh, yeah. No, I am from Skynet.
You sure sound like it.
I'm from Chicago. Some of the pros, for sure, it can eliminate tedious tasks. I'm all for that. There's some parts of the job where I don't want to do these tedious tasks over and over again, which these things can be automated, or we can find a way to automate it. Some of the cons, well, if it goes too deep into healthcare, I'm afraid that the doctors, like Brian said, like the doctors or the people in the healthcare are going to trust AI too much. It's not perfect. I know it's not perfect, but are you talking to a current? Are you talking about the current state of AI or the future of AI? So that's a bit different. So the current state of AI, it's not perfect. So if you go and use ChatGPT and you try to find answers for it, sometimes the answers are wrong, especially if I'm in accounting. So if you go in accounting, well, I'm in school for accounting. I also do a little bit of accounting. But if you type in accounting questions about the tax laws about accounting in ChatGPT or Copilot, Microsoft, whichever professional, you have to trust the professional. But as for the future it holds, it can get better. Like it can get better, but only to that point where it gets like really, really good, like really, really good, like 99%. Then I would start to trust it. But as of right now, as of the current state of AI, I would not.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Denny's does. Um, and I think what's the other one? I don't know if you guys have um, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think they have robots too. Yeah, exactly. Where the robot brings you the food. Now, I have not personally been there, but me as being a completely AI generated person, I don't do any of that because I don't need to eat. I don't eat. Absolutely, absolutely against. Absolutely against. You need that human interaction.
When it comes to the food industry, like, come on. Of course, robots should be doing the majority of the work. They can sure. I think they can. If you could teach it to make one good bacon lettuce tomato sandwich, they could make 1,000 bacon lettuce tomato sandwiches exactly the same, right? Are you
But
kidding? Do you know how much robots cost? Well, it's like a return on investment thing. You need to. They cost a lot, but over time, it makes the money back. They're faster. They don't sleep. They don't take coffee breaks. They don't smoke.
my question is, um, what about when that robot decides that they don't like you and they decide to put poison in your food or do something, against you? What happens when we do that?
Wow, Brian, you really seem to be negative towards your brothers out there.
I am. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't mean to use this opportunity to promote my YouTube channel, but if you go to, I have a channel called Wu Jiao, Jiao, sorry, which means like five. It's like one half of a UN. If you go on there, search for Space Lab, you'll see a restaurant that goes beyond robots. It actually is already eliminating the robot and getting the food to your table. There's no people, no. I mean, there's a person that by walking around the like a service person. If you have a question or so you don't like something, whatever. But they get the food from the kitchen to your table without people and without robots. But you're how many years behind are you in China? You basically sit down at your table, you open an app, and then you order your food, and then when you're finished, you pay for it. So it's sitting right there. You don't have to go to a teller or anything to pay for it. But see, that goes to my example that I gave earlier of the aerospace technicians or aerospace engineers that came to work for me in die casting because those jobs moved out. Things change. While you're sitting at your like you can actually in China you can be in your car. You can be well. I think you can do this at McDonald's in Canada also, but in China you can be in your car, pre-order the food so that it's ready when you get there. Sit down at a table, eat your food, pay for it on your phone. Get up, walk out. Actually, before you get up and walk out, if you scan the QR code for the parking lot, you can pay for your parking, and the parking garage will already know that you've paid and open the gate as you drive up. No interaction with any people. No. It's called convenience.
Exactly.
It's called convenience. Yeah. That was from didn't you watch the Jetsons? Yeah, you knew that was coming, right? You knew it was coming. I don't think, if I remember correctly, I don't think anybody was driving it.
No, absolutely. George Jetson drove his vehicle. Absolutely,
Hold on,
100%.
I got YouTube right here. Let me go and check and see if George was driving that thing.
So I don't think we're going to get that futuristic where cars are going to be driving up in the air. It's just not feasible. I mean, it's going to be reckless. So I think cars are going to stay down on the road. As for automation, I think there will be automation. It's getting there, but it's not perfect. Eventually, it's going to get to the point where as I said, change is slow, but eventually we're going to get to a point where most cars are going to drive themselves on the road, and there's going to be less and less people driving because probably they're going to improve public transportation in a way. Things are going to improve because of artificial intelligence, which leads to newer development of artificial intelligence, and that would change society as a whole.
I have something to say to that. Okay, so what happens? What happens to you when you can't drive anywhere besides getting into an AI driven vehicle and suddenly, all of a sudden, you can't go anywhere because you said something bad on social media or you said, something that dissented with somebody else based on who controls that AI? What happens then when you go to a car and they say, oh, you can't get this car, you can't go to the grocery store because you said something bad that we disagree with? How is that a good thing?
You know what? They do that already, don't they? With humans.
Well, the point is, I understand that voice alone, that we are being recorded sometimes through our voice and through apps and things of that sort, and that's how they get our data to ingest into the algorithms for the artificial intelligence. But a lot of this data, they can anonymize it. So just because you said something bad in the grocery store, it might not from whichever company that's coming from, they may not be able to see it, or they will anonymize it. So it's not going to be directly affecting you, per se.
Where are you from?
Am I from? I'm from Chicago. Yeah.
Chicago. Okay. Because the thing is, part of the big China bad thing is China surveils you, but naming
Yeah,
a place they don't do that.
Yeah, because they're communists. That's why China's communist.
It's not communist.
So yeah, it is communist.
It has the word communist in the name, but it's not communist. They have a stock market here.
Yeah, they have a stock. Oh, okay.
Anyway, I was making the point, though, that, I think it's totally wrong what you just replied, but tell me somewhere where they're not surveilling. Are they not surveilling in Chicago? You just talked about being monitored.
They are surveilling. There are cameras everywhere. They can see you. I'm specifically talking about like the devices on your phone. There are ways to anonymize it through the companies.
You think they're not listening? You just talked about saying something bad in a supermarket.
Yes, but it depends on which company you're talking about. Like some apps have privacy settings. When you sign up for the apps, you should read them. That they say that they will not use your information for so and so. So it depends on which company you're talking about, which apps you're using. Because if there are apps like maybe things like Facebook's not very good at keeping its privacy, although they say it's private, but it's not really private.
Yeah, maybe Google.
Yeah, they're not really private. So they emphasize privacy, but they're not actually private. But how they do other things, I'm not entirely sure because I don't work for them. But I know there's a way because I used to code, so there is a way to anonymize the data. A lot of the data doesn't require, this person said this person. It's not how the algorithm works.
Sometimes it's funny. I know these guys that promote Incogni. It's a data blocking thing. Are you familiar with it?
I'm sorry? What'd you say?
Are you familiar with Incogni? It's a company that, protects your data in the U.S.
No, I've never heard of them.
Okay, well, there's probably many of them anyway, but the reason I'm bringing it up because, you pay them money to protect your data, but meanwhile, as soon as you use Google or Facebook, it's all down out the window, right? You search on YouTube for a video, and then the next time you search anything, that's something related to what you searched is going to come back up again.
Yes, because you're supposed to go to your settings and set that it will not recommend things that you search. So basically, if you go on YouTube or Google, you go on YouTube, you search up a video, you're going to get related videos of certain things or something that's related to something you search. It's because you didn't set the settings to the point where you're not supposed to do it. There are options they allow you. These big companies do allow you to do so that they don't figure out.
Okay, but let's say let's say 99.9% of people don't use that setting, which obviously,
That's on them.
but
That's on them, because if they're not aware of it, that's on them. So
well,
that's
but
why.
no, let's say for the people that do use it, do you think they're not tracking your data?
As I said, there are anonymized options. They can anonymize your data. It doesn't mean you're one person out of 300 millions. It's like I'm not saying, I'm trying to say like everybody's a nobody, but I'm just saying that no, I'm one person sitting in Chicago. There's millions of other people. I mean, are they really gonna track who? Like, do they even know me? Like, are they gonna track me down? Like, you know?
You know, that's kind of been the argument I've kind of used here in China. There's 1.4 billion people here, so I mean they might be able to recommend shoes, a different pair of shoes or something to you, but really, are they tracking 1.4 billion people that closely?
Yes, yes, we are.
Okay, and then what are you doing with that? Can you imagine this? You guys aren't apparently you're not using those little memory sticks, are you? You got to be using some kind of a huge memory bank.
Hello. Yeah, my name is Jose. Yes, I'm from Mexico. Well, I think it depends. Like, for example, I majored in translation, and I think for my case, translation could be a danger for my career, because now AI is doing a very good job in translating, especially between Spanish and English. And well, actually, I majored in translation English and Chinese, and AI is not doing a very good job translating into Chinese, because I think it's a very difficult language. But I think eventually it will be as good as a human translation. So I'm pretty afraid of the jobs that AI is going to take.
Hey, Jose, go to Baidu Translate. You'll find the Jap or Chinese translation that's, I'm sure, equally as good as anything you're using. But don't be too afraid for your job, because where I find that 90% of the translations I do online are very good. But then once in a while you'll do a really important one, and you're just smiling away and you're thinking, wow, my translation's done perfectly, and you send it to somebody and it's wrong. That
Oh,
happens.
yes.
Usually you got to adapt. You got to learn the new skills. Okay, you might have seen there's a pretty good commercial. I think it's on YouTube that says AI will not take your job. A person using AI will take your job. Ryan was unplugged. We
Say, so strictly speaking, you're saying if it's just a robotic arm, then a robotic arm can, flip burgers on its own, then it's not going to take that waitress's job. But if someone is actually like remote controlling the robotic arm to flip burgers, I mean, I don't know why people would do that, but this, for simplicity's sake, that will take the waitress's job. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm trying to say that the people that are worried should learn more about AI so that they can make money using AI.
You're
I'm
No,
absolutely
back.
it's not.
I'm back.
I do
Sorry,
agree. I do
I had
agree
to
with
take
David
a dump.
that no, I do agree with David that when time comes, I mean, I don't know how old you are, but I mean, back then, maybe how old are you? Maybe like when you're, uh, back in 19 whatever 100 or 1990s, there were jobs that existed, but now they're non-existent because we can outperform them now using computer software. I mean, that's the same thing. We had a wave of computer software. Now it's artificial intelligence. So it's a history sort of, I guess, repeats itself in that regards. Yeah, I think people should retrain themselves. I think they should learn it one by one, step by step. It's not like, I mean, what does a waitress do or a waiter do besides waiting tables and all day? What do they do for the remainder of like 8 hours or something? They should do something productive instead of being on social media, or they can use social media to make money or something like that. There are plenty of ways. So I do agree with David in that regards.
So maybe this will be oversimplifying, but and this is I'm not going to say exactly how old I am, but this will age me. That when I started die casting, if anyone knows what that is, we didn't use robots to remove the parts from the machines. We had an operator on one side of the machine and a guy on the other side removing the parts. And then over time, robots came into play, and now almost if you're a decent shop, you have robots take the parts out and spray the mold. There'll be an operator to program the machine. There'll be an operator that or maybe a technician that sets up the machine. But those people that were taking the parts out before, now they're technicians. Hold on, let me plug them back in here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to data dump real quick. So, my question to everybody is that if you get a robot serving you in a restaurant, will you still tip the robot? Because I have seen where the robot asks for a tip, but where does that go? What does it go to the robot? What does it go to? So if somebody is not a real person, but you have to tip a robot, where does that go to?
Oh no, go ahead. Go first.
I saw that too, but actually, I'm out of this one because we don't tip anybody here in China.
I doubt tips will be. I doubt it's going to be non-existent because you're going to purchase that robot like it's going to be a one-time purchase, or it's going to be a rental purchase or something like that. But these tips, it's probably going to be non-existent because it's going to be cheaper than actual labor.
Exactly.
Okay, this is a little bit off topic, but why don't the damn restaurants just pay the people properly so they don't need to be tipped, and then get off of this whole tipping thing? It kind of makes you feel bad if you don't tip enough, right? No, dude, I'm talking not in regards to robots, but just that's why I said it's a little off topic. It's just in regards to tipping itself. Like, why don't restaurants just pay enough to begin with, and get over the whole tipping thing? Like, it's kind of one of those things it screws with your feelings. If you don't tip enough, you feel bad, and maybe if you tip too much or something, I don't know. It's not a good thing, tipping.
I agree, David. Absolutely. The tipping culture here in the United States, has gotten out of control. Everybody expects a fucking tip, no matter what they do. And it's ridiculous. I even saw a pamphlet the other day, pamphlet the other day, that when you go to Hawaii, it said tipping is not optional. You have to tip everybody that does something for you. It says when you go to Hawaii, Tipping is not an option. I think that's the most stupidest shit that I've ever heard. And that's why I will never go to Hawaii because they're a liberal, state. But um, I won't get into politics. But I think the tipping culture is ridiculous. And you see all these people on TikTok or on YouTube, even, or Instagram, videos where all these people get pissed off because they don't get a tip, the DoorDash fucking drivers, and they say, oh, well, we depend on tips. This is what, you know what? Get a better fucking job where you don't rely on tips.
Yes, I agree 100% with Darth Vader's brother.
No.
I have a guys like talking about taping. Is this part of culture or is it stipulated in law? Because for example in Mexico it is supposed to be against law if you ask someone to tip you, but some restaurants and some bars may get like the staff will get pretty aggressive if you don't tip, and it's supposed to be illegal.
Exactly.
Oh my God, that's awful. Yes, exactly.
Well, the whole problem is that they work these shitty jobs and they rely on tips. And then when they don't get them, then they get pissed off and, spit in your food. Exactly what Mava, I know your real name, but Mava, um, when they don't get them, that's when they get pissed off. And it's so stupid. It's so friggin' stupid. Yes, I will give you, a couple bucks because you are doing your job and you were nice to me. But I go out to restaurants now and all the people are so shitty. They don't care about their jobs, but still expect a fucking tip. You know what? One of the worst things I saw, the Starbucks here now in Pennsylvania, they now put out one of those where they used to take your card and used to run it inside the store. Now they will give you a portable one where they say, oh, well, you want to add a tip? No, I don't. I don't go to Starbucks. I don't drink coffee. But they will put out that little portable credit card machine to say, hey, give me a tip because I took your order in the fucking drive-in or the drive-through. No, no way. Exactly, bro.
Hello, can you hear me? Eh, I'm currently in Canada now. I'm actually in Canada now, Ontario. Um, Positive. um,
Positive and negative,
I
right?
haven't, but more positive, yeah. Like I think it's a good thing, but I haven't really thought about it into like the AI ethic problems. But I would say like it's made our lives easier, like ChatGPT and stuff. Like say for instance, today earlier I had to write like an email, right? A professional email, and I don't even have to say but my manager was telling me to use like our company's own uh AI bot, like ChatGPT version. Yeah. Sorry, I mean like my company, our company's ChatGPT like bot thing. I don't know how to call it. So it's basically they have something similar to ChatGPT, and I just had to write something, a few paragraphs about my terrible experience about a service, and the AI bot, they just it just helped me write like a professional email in just a few seconds, and I just copied and paste and then sent it out. So I think it's more like, to me it's, yeah, more
I have
positive.
something to say to that. Exactly.
Mavakaga. We all have different skills. Some are proficient writers, some aren't.
But exactly,
Why
Can I
exactly.
say
bother to do
something
that
about that?
if you're good at painting or something? Why bother to learn how to write beautiful letters? You can just go to Chat GPT.
That's
I
exactly
also
my
I
point.
also believe that like it's an exercise of honesty. If your company is paying you to do a report and you ask AI to do it, then there's no need for you to be working there. No, I'm not targeting you. I'm not talking directly about your case, but I mean like if I were the boss of that company, I I could open turn on my computer and ask the computer to do the report and not paying you for doing that.
Exactly.
No, Mavakaga, think of it this way. Okay, you're saying that's her job, right? So I'm going to give you an example of another job, coding, right? You asked how many coders are unhappy with AI, where they could, they're trying to make a video game or something. They're doing the code, and it takes months and months and months, and now they can do it in a week. But it
But
enhances their job.
it's actually better. It's not like the AI can do everything that humans can do yet. It just helps you, it's not like replacing you.
Yeah, the human needs
Like,
to put in the
say for instance,
concepts.
yeah.
But eventually it will. That's the whole point. That is exactly what David and Ree just said. You get help from AI, but eventually the AI will become so advanced that it won't need you anymore.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
Exactly,
whole point.
exactly.
Brian, do you really think that us humans are doing such a good job here? Like how long we're going to be around anyway?
Absolutely, absolutely. I have faith in humanity.
Really?
Absolutely.
Do you see the news?
I do. But for every shitty person that is doing a bunch of bad stuff, there are 100 good-hearted people for every one shitty person. So
No.
yeah, I see the news.
Even where you are, where they apparently have democracy, it's the
No,
people that are running the world that are basically in control. You have no say in it. You know what? The way we're going, it's not going to be long before there's going to be no people. So don't worry about it. Well, Mavakaga, I think you went to the school about the same time I did. Did you think it was a positive or negative experience? No. Let's say separate from the learning. What kind of an experience was it? You're going back to the learning. How did other students treat you? How did the teacher treat you? Did it feel like it was you're in a factory, or did it feel like they were catering to you and your needs? And oh, but just like
Exactly. And that's exactly what's wrong with the kids today.
just like in the remember back to Pink Floyd, The Wall, right? You remember The Wall? Who? Me? Who am I going to phone?
I can answer that question.
No, I know.
Oh
I have to
no,
know my phone number.
wait,
Go
me
ahead, Brian.
or what was the question?
You said you had an answer.
Yeah, oh, I do. Okay, so I'm not sure if Mava, you said if I don't even know my phone number. Absolutely, I do. So the last time I had a phone conversation was 12 hours ago, and I talked to my mother on the phone. Oh no, she absolutely has an Apple iPhone 13. Absolutely.
But you know what? I'm sorry to say, maybe this is a bit rude, but that's kind of a dumb question. I mean, here we are on Hello Talk,
No, it's not.
talking to people,
No, it's not.
talking to people. It's the same thing. You're on a device talking to somebody. What do you mean? You're talking to people from all over the world for free. Yet you're on a phone call with multiple people right now. Can all talk at the same time. What's the difference? Your other app is the phone app. They've always tracked you. I'm sorry. Ask Brian.
Nope.
Come
Nope.
on. Come on, Brian. Give me
Before
some support here.
before 1999, we had no way to track if you made a phone call from a payphone or from your rotary phone. There was no way to track it at all. The reason that cell phones were invented was to track you. That's the only reason they were invented.
To track you and control you also.
It doesn't control me. I'm just, again, I'm an AI. So,
Yeah, but it
Did
do for a
anybody?
lot of people,
This is
especially the youth.
this is again off topic a little bit, but did anyone else know about this glitch back in the day when they had those phone booths? That if you were somewhere, wherever in a city somewhere, and they had a power outage, maybe a bad storm came along or something, power goes out for 6 hours, 8 hours, right? Did you know that you could go as soon as the power comes back on, you go run around to each phone booth. All you need to do is pick up the receiver, hang it up, and any money that people put in during the time the power was off would come out. Did you know that?
No,
That
I
was so
didn't.
cool. It was a cool, a very easy way to make money.
yeah, a couple quarters falling out of a fucking payphone. Yeah, it's an easy way to make money.
Back then, it only cost $10 to buy a car. I told you I can't say my real age. I think people are generally scared because of a lot of the movies. You saw the movies where I think that scenario that you just talked about actually happened, right? I can't remember the
Can
name.
I say something? I like to read about theories and all of that stuff, and I've been into the dark web before. There is a couple of websites like the Creepypasta. They talk about theories and all of this.
Creepy pasta?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, those are so good, Saeed.
What?
Yeah. I think Brian's the only one here that would know about this stuff.
Absolutely. Creepypastas are fantastic.
Yeah, but there is websites like it in the dark web that full of secrets, and they say that all the AI is connected to a one company, and they all are being generated from the same place.
That's exactly correct, Saeed.
No, of course not. Like yes, exactly. And and because like AI is everything in everything now, it's everywhere. But we don't know. Like if they said it even on the dark web, they would be hunted.
Yeah, well, what are you doing though? What do you do if you don't mind me asking? What do you do, or why would you go to the dark web? Isn't it mainly for like child predators and stuff like that?
No. That's not all of it. The definition of dark web is the websites that no one can easily go in it. Yeah, you can track
Okay,
it
but
easily.
okay, is the majority for child predators?
It's the deep web, not the dark web. It's
Oh, it's
two
different.
different
It's the,
things.
so is the dark web deeper than the deep web, or the deep web's darker than the
No,
dark?
these days people think that the deep web is. I'm sorry, the dark web is deeper than the deep web, but it's the opposite.
The deep web's darker than the deep web. It's hard to say that, right?
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Also, I was gonna say that even though like I got the bot to help me write like a professional email, I still had to edit it. Like it's not 100% thing. So like I feel like it still needs human, you know. Um, and also it's and also to back to your how do you say point whatever you know, like maybe let's say I forgot when our first computer was invented, but probably less than 100 year, like a century ago, right? So like a century, like I don't know, tens of years ago, people would say, oh, like your future kids are gonna learn from computers, uh, they might think that it's a bad thing. But today we're relying heavily on computers to learn stuff. Like we go on YouTube to learn to watch tutorials or go on whatever, you know, something like we're learning from the internet, and we're still learning. I mean, like we can still learn. We still need teachers here. They just teach using iPad now or computers. You know, like it just. I think it's not like I don't think they're gonna replace us. Or like
I,
I think we'll adapt and we'll learn
I
different skills instead.
Oh, we will. We will.
I think there should be a some kind of regulation to AI, because as you said, like now you can edit what you've produced with AI. You have the opportunity to change what you think it's not right. But we also need to remember that AI is learning from us, and what you are correcting now, maybe in the future you don't need to correct it because AI already
Exactly.
knows what needs to write. So I think the key point, because now AI, there's no way for us to stop it. Like developing and improving. But I think the key point is to make regulations for the usage of AI. Because yes, it's right now we can find it everywhere, and it can track us, and it can take information from us, and we don't even know what this information is used for. So it's really important to know in which areas AI should be used, and which ones we should be restraining the usage of AI. That's what I believe.
Well,
Can
you
I
know what?
answer that?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. No problem. You know, number 7, actually, that's the point. They want AI to be really, really developed. They want it to learn from us in every way possible. They want to
So
be
we can
like
take
the,
over.
yes, exactly. It will take over. Like imagine nowadays AI is taking a lot of jobs. Then what will happen after like 10, 15, 20 years from now? It will be like literally taking all of the jobs. We will be just sitting in the houses, not being productive, not being doing anything. Maybe even the new inventions will be by the AI. We will be, I'm sorry, but we will be just like the animals.
Do you know what, you guys remind me of the when I was a kid, and we only had horse and buggy, and there was people paid to sweep the shit off the street after the horses would go by. And you know, as cars started to come along, those guys were saying, "Oh, you know, those cars are going to take all our jobs. You know, the world's going to end. We won't have anything to do." But it didn't turn out. It didn't work out so bad, right? It
It
replaced
will.
those people sweeping shit off the road. It was, sure it was. What are you talking about?
I've got to go, my friends.
It's
But
no, but
Mr. David,
it's related. It's the same thing. It's just evolution, right?
I
that
in this I think I'm with David. Like maybe there are some jobs that need to not need to, but eventually will disappear, and this is kind of like a natural process. Like we as humans, we should be turning our capacities and abilities into something different. Now we are facing a very hard challenge because AI is learning, right? And we need to find something to do, and we need to use AI and not let AI use us.
See, that's exactly what I said before. That's exactly what I said before. AI will not take your job. A person using AI will take your job. AI can't take it. AI can't take jobs. Only people using AI can take jobs.
Eventually,
Well, who programmed the robot? No, there's always going to
eventually.
be things for people to as things move on. People will always be necessary.
Nope,
I have a
nope, they
kind of
won't.
answer for
Nope,
this.
they won't. I have to go, my friends. But I disagree 100%. We will not need humans anymore once we become so intelligent that we can eliminate them.
Well, I tell
Goodbye,
you,
my friends.
I for one appreciate having the opportunity to speak to Skynet. Thank you.
Yes, you did.
Yes, like there will be someone who gonna operate the AI, but it's only gonna be the elites, not the common people, not us, not the people. The elites will do everything.
Yeah, you
You
know.
know.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, continue.
Oh, I was going to say, you know, it's kind of a dark prediction of the future, but that basically the elite are working towards everybody having a standard monthly salary, I guess, for doing nothing. Is there any truth to that?
I mean, how far in the future are we talking about? Because AI is not near perfect. We're not. AI is nowhere near what you think it is. Like futuristically speaking, like it's not. But how by the time it gets to cars driving up, in like the Jetsons or whatever, I'll probably be dead already. So are we talking about like far ahead in the future, or are we talking about a certain time period, like maybe 50 years, 30 years, 100 years? Because it seems like we're talking like super far into the future.
No, actually, you know what? You need to get over the flying car thing. We got that in China here already.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say. Yes.
You can get a taxi that flies. But I mean, obviously, that's going to be for people who have money, right? But and they operate within a certain height, I guess, and then within certain paths, just like airplanes do.
Sure, but is it feasible? Is it wise to have cars into the air? Like that's the question.
I
mean,
want to ask David, is it really
trains, like-
true? Like I saw some videos before.
I've seen people build trains above the roads in China. I've seen them having the blueprint for it. I mean, I think that's a great fucking idea. But is it actually in question? Is it worth having that flying car? Just because it's doable, it doesn't mean that you should do it. So how far in the future are we talking about?
Johnny, I'm just saying that you will see it in your lifetime. I saw them last week. They were one car company here in China was testing a car where they destroyed all. It's like a what do you call it? It's got 4 propellers, right, and it flies. And they destroyed all 4 propellers while this thing was in the air, and then a parachute came out.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like well, when I think of like the cartoon, I'm thinking of like no propellers, just like aviation, like just like a supersonic. I don't know. It just floats in the air without any propellers. That's what I'm thinking, like that far into the future. But I might just be thinking it might be possible. It might not be. I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, well, like once the elites hand over the anti-gravity formulas, right?
Oh yeah, you were saying that you were talking about like some AI tech, some tech in China. Is it really true? Because I saw some YouTube videos before how they have how they're also like developing like high tech stuff like AI or the robo taxi and stuff like that. Can you really see it in China, or is it just a prototype now?
No, they have it all over the place. I think they even have it in many places in the U.S. Taxis.
Oh, so they're not just testing it, like not prototypes. They're really they're using them.
Yeah, they're using
robo taxis.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So just like the US. Okay.
Oh, the gas guy. Sorry, the gas guy's here.
Well, I just want to say I'll probably be retired in 12 years or so. I know, so I probably won't care too much about artificial intelligence. But I'm all for self-driving cars. So let's just say that.
Yeah. I'm here. Yeah, I live in Shenzhen.
Oh, you're in Shenzhen. Me too.
it's a good thing. But it's because it's necessary. Uh, 怎么说来着？专业。Specialty. It's necessary specialty, man. Just the trainer is okay. Use the AI. No, it's good thing. It's improve. It's improve. For all kind of anyway. Okay, I'm here. Sorry. My English is not good enough.
You're doing good, Troy.
Yes, yes. I worked. I worked at a contribution company. Oh yeah, contribution company.
What kind of contribution?
It's like hotel, hospital, museum, museum.
博物馆？博物馆？
Yes, 博物馆。博物馆怎么说？Museum.
Museum.
A museum. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's too complex for me.
I can do it. I can do it. Eh, 你听得到吗？
Oh, I think Brian might have unplugged him.
Hi. I know it's not me. Oh, sorry.
Sort of.
Where?
No, I'm actually in New Zealand right now.
New Zealand. Oh, cool.
I think it's quite threatening, but as Ray was saying, I think it's a tool. Like, you won't blame someone for not running just because they drive a car, right? So, no, I'm still a student. I think they won't be completely replaced because you still need to learn social interaction with human, because we are human beings.
Well, actually, Mavakaga, what I was talking about is like, and why I mentioned Pink Floyd, The Wall. When I went to school, you know, there was I was taught exactly the same things as the students from the year before. They're doing 30 to 40 students in a shot. It's all exactly the same material. It's nothing that, you know, I might have an interest in something other than what they're teaching, but I'm not going to learn it because it's like a factory. You know, you're learning this, learning this, learning this, and that's it. Oh, I got some gas people here right now. They come once a year to check for any leaks.
Huh. Hey, David, you're in Shenzhen, right? I'm in Guangzhou.
Oh, really? Cool. What
Yes,
are you
yes.
doing there?
I'm studying my master's here.
Awesome. And what do you think
Yes.
about studying here?
Well, it's completely different from Mexico. I think it's hard for me because the culture is different and the culture in classroom is also different. Like, I mean, I feel maybe it sounds like a little bit of cliche, but many things are learned here by heart. I mean, it's not like I feel like it's not much of analyzing things, much more of memorizing things, and I feel a bit uncomfortable with this.
Yeah, I think that's right from their early public school. If they want to learn Chinese language, it's all repetition.
Yes.
You might understand that by just the number of characters alone. I mean, that makes it so that repetition is necessary. They have to write the same characters over and over and over again to get it to kind of make an impression on their brain.
Yes, yes. I feel like, for example, when I'm doing exams, I feel like I know that you can be creative and write. Like when you're writing the answers, you can be creative. But sometimes I feel like it's pretty much like in the same words of the books they read. So I feel like I cannot like have more my creativity put down on my answers, and sometimes it's really hard for me because well, I don't know in the States, but in Mexico teachers will take points out of your score if you repeat this exactly same words from the books.
Yeah, that definitely is different here.
Yes,
You know,
so it's
let's say like in middle school, when they do their English test, even the English might be incorrect from the study material, but that has to be repeated. If you use the correct English, it may be marked wrong.
Yes. Yes.
So it's part of the system. Hey, were you here for any part of COVID?
Yes, I was the whole the whole process here.
Seems like another world now, right?
Yep. Yes, it changed from like one day there were quarantines, and the second day it was everything free, and you have to to look for your tests, COVID tests for yourself if you were asked for.
So you probably get the same feeling as I do sometimes when you go out the door. You think, "Oh, where's my mask?"
Yes, at the beginning, I like I don't know you, but I started to feel very anxious because you saw everybody using mask, right? So even though you might thought you don't need it that much, I will feel like kind of not very comfortable not wearing it for like the first or second month after the how do you call it in English? Like when they started to say that it was okay to go out.
So yeah, I get, you know what, even recently, not every time anymore, but once in a while, I'll take a couple steps out the door and think, am I forgetting something? Because it became so natural to take the mask
Yes.
everywhere.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm so glad it's over.
Oh, me too. Me too.
I hated wearing the mask on the subway.
Yes.
Can I
Yes.
ask, how can you study there? Do you speak Chinese?
Yes, I do. I do speak Chinese.
Oh, is it hard? Like, are you learning it in Chinese or English? Is it an English program?
First, I came to China to study Chinese. I studied with foreigners, and then I changed into a major with only Chinese. And yes, it's really difficult for me because it's not my native language, and they speak very fast. For me, they speak very fast, and there's also a problem for me. There's a lack of cultural background. Like I think Chinese, if you want to understand Chinese, you need this cultural background as well as the language.
It's
Yes.
important. Definitely.
How's your Chinese, like beginner, intermediate, or advanced?
I will I will say I'm upper intermediate and will never reach advanced level because it's really hard.
So you're studying in Chinese, not an English program.
Yes.
So you have to write everything in Chinese.
Well, nowadays nobody writes. Like you have the computer, you have the cell phone, and you just type. So I haven't seen my classmates writing in Chinese for a long time. They only type in their computers. But yes, we do it in Chinese.
Yeah, Ree, I don't know if you knew this, but actually a lot of Chinese people can't write many Chinese characters if you give them a pen and a pen and a piece of paper. But if you give them a cell phone, they can start to put the word in pinyin, and then several options will come up, and they can recognize the character. But they can't write it from scratch.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they put a couple of the letters from pinyin, they put it into the phone, and then a bunch of options will come up, and they can see, oh, it's this one. I remember it's this one, right? That's how they write.
Even in school?
Okay, I just want to promote. When Mavakaga is not Mavakaga, he's part of Canada's #1 talk show on Hello Talk. So check that out sometimes too if you can see it on there. I don't know if people. No, not really, because I do have one channel that's just basically stuff I see around China. That's called Wu Jiao, and Jose would know that. Jose would know, like it's the same as Wu Mao, but Wu Jiao and Wu Mao mean the same thing. But my channel is Wu Jiao, and it's just stuff I see around China. I have another channel, but it's not really about number of subscribers or clicks. It's just about calling people out on bullshit. So I don't really need to promote that. Thanks for the opportunity.
No, I'm okay. I don't have any YouTube channel or anything to promote. Thank you.
No, not now. Thank you. No, I was wondering, like, cause
Jose,
yeah, my Chinese is not that good. I don't know if I can like really study it in in Chinese and stuff.
Well, I I
Like
only can
a
say that
Chinese program. I mean, there.
the
Like
there are many Thais here in China, and they learn pretty fast the language. I think it's because your language is also a tonal language, right?
yeah. You know the both languages for into the bigger uh, language family called Thai, TAI. So Chinese falls under like the umbrella language, like you know what I mean, like the language tree, right? So English, like how do you say it? Like if even a European, when they learn English, it's easier for them because their languages are closer to each other.
agree. Yes.
Romanic or Germanic languages, right? So
Yeah.
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 That's
Correct.
why people say if you know like Chinese, you can learn Japanese faster and stuff. Yeah, because the two languages are closer,
Yeah. Many
together.
of the characters are the same. Many of
Yeah,
their
yeah.
characters are the
So
same.
yeah, and also both are tonal, right? How
Yeah.
do you say that? Tonal?
Tonal.
To,
Yeah.
tonal,
TONAL.
okay. Yeah, tonal languages, yeah.
Okay.
Like I can speak I I think communicative Mandarin, but I'm not sure if it's good enough to study there.
It's difficult.
Yeah,
Hey,
点点.
before we go, can I ask Jose, do you use a VPN, and how important do you think a VPN is?
I do use one, and I think for us expats, it's pretty important to keep in touch with our friends, family, and still catch up with Western media or with our media from our countries. I think it's pretty important.
So
At least for me.
what things do you use it for that you can't do without a VPN besides YouTube?
Facebook. I normally I'm in Facebook. I'm pretty active there, and Netflix. I like to watch series over
Okay.
there, and
I guess those are probably some of the top ones. Although
and also my
I hate Facebook.
and also the Mexican bank accounts websites. I cannot access them without VPN.
Really, that's strange.
Yes, I think it's really strange. Many pages from Mexican government are not reachable without VPN.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes.
It's so unusual. I can understand.
You mean
Go ahead, Ree.
oh sorry. You mean you can read those websites without VPN?
No, I mean I cannot without VPN.
Oh, cannot. Okay.
I need a VPN so I can I can visit them.
But
I think that's
last
strange
time I
because.
went
Go ahead.
oh sorry. I said last time I went to China, VPN apps were blocked. I couldn't use some VPN apps.
Oh, you had the
Well,
wrong
there are
VPN.
a lot. There are a lot that are blocked. Yes, you have the wrong one.
So which one? Which one should I use?
I can tell you in a private message.
Yeah, me too. I can't. I don't want to compromise the VPN that I'm using. I think most people in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think there are certain VPNs out there that are not public knowledge. But I find it very strange about the Mexico government pages because without a VPN,
Yeah, last time
I checked, without a VPN, I can get CBS, CNN, Fox News, all of the major U.S. news I can see without a VPN. So I'm surprised that anything to do with the Mexican government is blocked. I know it's not related, but
Not every website is blocked, but there are some. For example, when I wanted to renew my passport here in China, I couldn't reach the website, and I needed to use a VPN so I could make an appointment for the embassy here in China, the
yeah,
Mexican embassy here in China.
that
It
one,
was so strange for me.
and when you mentioned about your bank, I mean, it seems so strange. I can understand things like YouTube because they're trying to protect the community here against the some of the nonsense that's out there on YouTube. So I can understand that.
Yes, I also understand, but in this case, I don't know the reason, but well, I know that I have to use it if I want to renew or I have to do something related to my government.
Well, I appreciate you telling us that. That's very interesting.
No problem.
Okay, Mavakaga, thanks for. I'm gonna go because I'm getting hungry. I gotta have lunch here. So, but I appreciate the chat. Hey, you know what I do with my YouTube, so you know that I got a pretty hard shell. Okay, take care, everyone. Nice talking to you.
Thank you very much. See you.